How can real estate professionals like yourself avoid becoming a lowest price commodity?
Be different. It's really simple. It's really, really simple. Offer what others aren't. When you look at what everybody else is doing in your marketplace, run the other direction as hard as you can. And for me, that was looking around and seeing the landscape, and everybody had on a suit jacket and a tie, and they were professionals, and they were not the average Joe, and they were not very approachable. And I agreed very early on that I was going to market differently, and Facebook was my means, and so was video, and I embraced it.
Yeah, you have, and you're very good at it too, because not everyone's cut out for video. I think video is powerful, but not everyone's going to be great in front of a camera or just feel comfortable in front of a camera. Well, was that natural for you in the beginning?
No, not at all. I have some really, really crappy content. If you go back about 4 years ago, you can find it. It's there. Shot, I think, even on this webcam, if I'm honest. You have to give yourself grace if you're going to enter into that space and try it. And you're going to realize that your content's going to suck, but you have to suck to get better. It's that simple.
You have, because this is going to be valuable for anyone watching and has that fear. Did you ever have anyone, okay, not ever, but did you have in that beginning stage anyone just tell you, man, this video is horrible or anything like that? Or is that usually the nightmare in the back that's just trying to keep us from walking into the dark room?
A lot of that's the devil on your shoulder, because we're all pretty critical of how we sound, how we look, and all of that stuff. And the way I equate it to agents really is, crap, we'll pay for a billboard. We'll pay for our face to be on a bench. We'll literally let somebody sit on us, but we won't put our face out there with our voice.
Yeah.
It doesn't really correlate. Our job is to put ourselves out there. Our job is to put our products out there, whether that's buyers, sellers, whoever it is, to get noticed so that they can get traction on whatever it is they're trying to get traction on. People are going to meet you no matter what, face to face. It's going to happen. So you might as well set the parameters of who you are and what you are up front versus them finding out later, which is really the whole strategy to everything that I've done. Is I've embraced who I am, and I tell people who I am instead of letting them assume who I am.
And it's pretty easy to do when you are yourself. Don't try to be the rock star you may see on Selling Sunset or like $1 Million Listing or whatever. You don't have to be those people if that's not you. And that's not you.
No.
Be you. You know what you know. And if you don't know, you don't have to fake it. You could just go on an exploratory journey with your client and learn together.
Well, and I think that's a really good point. I think a lot of people have these ambitions when they get licensed. Oh, I'm only going to list $1 million properties, or I'm going to get into the luxury market, blah, 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 blah. But I think the true story of 90% of agents is that they grow with their clients. And what do I mean by that? I mean, I'm 7 years into this business. I don't know how far you are, Chris. But we all build a foundation in that first year, that second year, where we have a book of business that is going to be coming back to us in 5 to 7 years. We know that. I'm at a point where my ideal client and my typical client is a move-up buyer. So somebody who has something to sell to purchase. I know that's my ideal client, and I know that's the client that I drive with because of my age. I'm 33. I also gear my content towards that. So the most recent content I put out is we did a Tool Time riff, we did a Jay and Silent Bob, and then we did a Meatloaf thing, right? So
also some of those.
late 80s to late 90s, because that's our generation. That's our callback. So a lot of it, I think, is you realizing what your true avatar is, your true ideal client in those moments. And I think a lot of us, while we're going to eventually have those $1 million properties, we're going to handle all of those luxury clients. I think you need to be realistic about what is manageable and what's going to happen. For me, I'd rather have $200,000-$300,000 houses all day versus $1 million home. I'd rather have two things that are in demand and then I can market and move all day, right? So I think it's setting proper expectations for yourself and reasonable goals. And I think that needs to be combined with your content and how you create it.